Let's go to the hotline, and let's go up into the South Plains to talk to the new head coach of the Lubbock Estacado Matadors. We're joined by Coach Joe Cluley. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. How are y'all?
Excellent. How are things in beautiful Lubbock, Texas?
Well, I'll tell you what, it is windy and sandy right
No
now.
way.
That's right. Big change.
What a shock. I am stunned.
I'm telling you, man.
Coach, you're taking over this Matadors program. You get the job about 2 weeks ago.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
interested in what the last 2 weeks have been like as you got the nod to get promoted from defensive coordinator to head coach.
It has been fast and furious. Been a ton of work, but a ton of fun also. And it has just been it's an unbelievable opportunity. And I wouldn't change anything about the last 2 weeks in the world. And I'm just extremely excited to stay a part of the Matador family.
After you got hired, you're taking over for a guy in Marcus Shavers who brought you over from Wichita Falls
Yes,
and stuff
sir.
like that. Afterwards, he said that he was thrilled for you, thought that this was a great hire. What does it mean for you to have the endorsement of Coach Shavers to get
Well,
this job?
man, me and Coach Shavers go back a long time, and he's one of my best friends and one of the best coaches I've ever worked with or worked for. And he is, and I tell people this all the time. He's a guy that 2 years ago, when I came from Wichita Falls High School, said, "Hey, man, here's the plan. Is that we're gonna get you a head coaching job and make this thing happen, and I'm gonna promote you." And it was a deal. Now he didn't expect it to be this job, but it just worked out that way. And I tell you this, there's not a bigger fan of mine than Marcus Shavers, and I know that because of what he's done for me. And I will forever be in his debt for the way he promoted me and bringing me out here. And it's just been an unbelievable fit.
You're getting promoted from defensive coordinator to head coach of a team that won 10 games last year, 10-2,
Yes,
fantastic year, district champions.
yes, sir.
How much do you change? How much do you keep the same? What's the plan going forward as far as putting your stamp on this program?
Well, it's a deal that we have obviously a great thing going, and me and Coach Shavers, we think a lot alike. And so, a lot of decisions that were made over the last 2 years was me and him talking through things and going through things. And, obviously being the head man's different in terms of you're where the buck stops. We're gonna change a few small things, just some things to kind of put my own stamp on the program and things like that. But, I'm not here to make wholesale changes. I'm here to do what works, to build relationships with kids and continue to build those relationships and get these kids to play hard. Because the bottom line is that X's and O's matter very little if your kids aren't playing hard for you. And so that's the biggest thing is we're going to build relationships out here and continue to build those relationships to get the best kids possible and get the best kids playing as hard as possible.
We're talking with Joe Cluley, the new head coach of the Lubbock Estacado Matadors here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation, hashtag TF Today. So, Coach, you're looking at this squad that you're, I guess inheriting is, I guess, the
Yes,
word
sir.
to use.
That's right.
Half your starters are back from a 10-win team. Overall,
Yes, sir.
when you take a look at the state of the program, how would you kind of assess what you guys have heading into 2018?
I think we got a really good deal going right now. We have some talented players that are coming back. We've got some talented kids that were on JV and some freshmen that'll be able to help us out varsity-wise next year. I think overall our schedule is a little bit tougher than it was last year, especially the first part of the schedule. But to me, that's a great opportunity to kind of give a gauge as to what we truly are. We will go play Coronado game one. That's one of the best 5A programs, maybe the best program out here in West Texas, and one of the best 5A programs in the state. And that's going to give us a barometer of where we are and where we need to go and stuff like that. So our kids are really, really excited about where we're going. I'm excited about where we're going, and just got to keep going 1-0 every day, and that's our goal right now.
You're a defensive guy and bringing back 5 starters defensively, including defensive end Dalvian Rhodes. A fantastic year last year, 70 tackles, 12 sacks, guy all over the field. You're a defensive guy, so you've spent a lot of time watching him both on the field and on film. What do you see in this young man?
He is a special player. Dalvion's a kid that, I'd let babysit my kids and would take every place I've ever been Every defense I've ever coached in, he'd be one of the best players I've coached. He's a special player. He plays really, really hard. He's about 6 foot, about 265. So he kind of has that natural leverage. He is an explosive pass rusher, and he gives people a lot of issues out of our fronts. Getting that one-on-one with somebody's right tackle or left tackle, we kind of move him around, and he's hell on wheels. Honestly, that's kind of how we describe him, and we are very, very excited to have him back.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see what he can do heading into his senior year. One guy just heading into his junior year though is your running back Jeremiah Dobbins, a guy who goes for more than 1,700 yards last year, 23 touchdowns.
Right.
I imagine there's a lot of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But is the plan to give the ball to Jeremiah a few times a game?
We're going to try and get him at least a few times a game. We're going to try. You want to feed the beast, and so we're going to try and feed our beast quite a bit. We have another kid coming back who was injured last year, named Seth Porter, who honestly going into last year was our number one back, and tore his ACL the first play of the season, and is just now getting back to full strength, and so we'll kind of have another 1-2 punch like we had last year with Jeremiah and Seth in the backfield. And our running back situation right now is we're blessed, and we are definitely going to get both of those guys to rock several times a game.
Coach, realignment had an interesting effect on you guys. On one hand, you guys do drop down from Division I down to Division II, but you're bringing a lot of friends with you. Your Leveland's following you, Borger's following you. You're joining Perryton and Dalhart. When you take a look at District 2 4A Division II, overall, what do you see as far as your realignment draw?
I think it's going to be extremely competitive. I really do. Leveland's got a really good program. Coach Lowry's done a great job out there, and they'll be in their second year. A good weight program and stuff like that. And they got a quarterback coming back who was offensive MVP of our district last year in Chris Gerber, and he's a special talent. One of those kids that. And, I felt like we had a pretty good defense last year, and we had trouble containing him at times. And he's just a kid that can make the off-the-cuff plays that, as a defensive coordinator, frustrates you because you can't plan for him, And then you got Borger. And Borger runs unconventional offense. They're wing T, but they're big overload set and overload right and left. And you got to really be able to get lined up defensively. They want to shorten that game down, and they want to pound the ball and hold the ball and keep their defense on the field the least amount possible. And so there's definitely those two teams, as far as who we know that are coming over, that they're going to be really good. And I think they're both going to be better than they were last year. And then we watched I don't know much about Perryton, but we watched Dalhart on film, and Dalhart's got a good squad. And I'm not 100% sure how much they have coming back, but we watched them versus Pampa last year, and their kids play really, really hard. So I expect the district to be very competitive.
And Coach, finally, I know you're a busy man. We want to get you back to work, but
yes, sir.
Folks may hear the name Joe Cluley, and it rings a bell. Maybe people who may recognize it. Your father by the same name,
yes, sir.
A high school football coach as well. For you,
yes,
what does it mean for you to be following in his footsteps?
It means everything to me. It's the reason that I coach. My dad is my hero, and he's the best coach I've ever been around. I grew up on the sidelines in Mineral Wells, Texas, and Mount Pleasant, Texas, and Wichita Falls, Texas, following him on game days and looking up to the players that he coached, and it's just been it's incredible. And he's the reason I do what I do, and the reason that I am who I am. And so it really does. It means absolutely everything to me to be able to even be considered that I'm following in his footsteps. If I can be half the coach that he was, I'll consider myself very successful.
Well, things are already going great out there in Lubbock for the Estacado Matadors' new coach, Joe Cluley. Coach, appreciate your time. Congratulations on the new gig. Best of luck in the offseason and down the road. Appreciate
it, man. Thank you.
There he goes, Joe Cluley, head coach, Lubbock Estacado Matadors. District 2 4A Division 2 is interesting. All 5 of those teams made the playoffs last year.
Mm-hmm.
All 5 of them. So it's 5 playoff teams. And look, some of them, Borger got in because remember Lubbock Estacado was in a 4-team district, so Borger got in at 2-8 or 2-7 rather, and went 0-3 in district. But look, those top 3 especially, I really think Lubbock Estacado, Leveland, and then and Perryton, I think has a chance to be something special. But excited to see what Coach Joe Cluley can do, and when you get the ringing endorsement of your former boss, Marcus Shavers, who's now at McKinney, goes a long way.
He's certainly not lacking enthusiasm either.
He's not. He is fired up, and understandably so. Should be a fun year out there for the I almost said El Paso Parkland. It's the other Matadors.
Yeah, see?
The Lubbock Estacado Matadors, Coach Joe Cluley.